By the time you watch this video, it might all be gone. Is it just me, or is using Twitter like being in a failing relationship with someone who you basically don't like anymore? That warm glow you used to have has long since departed, but you keep trying to make it work because your memories of the good days are so good that you're not quite ready to let go yet, even though you know you probably should. Over the past couple of weeks, things have really taken a turn for the weird over on Twitter, with bajillionaire Elon Musk buying the platform for a vastly inflated price, firing more than 3,700 staff via email, and threatening to relax the community standards to a potentially catastrophic level, all in the name of free speech. Have you ever used Twitter? And how do you feel about what's going on there at the moment? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I started my music career on Twitter 15 years ago, and I currently have 14,836 followers on there, though that has dropped by about 100 since last week. People really are choosing to deactivate their accounts, and I don't blame them. But as an independent solo artist making most of my living on the internet, could I afford to lose nearly 15,000 followers? And if this really is the end of Twitter, what can supporters of the arts do to make sure they don't lose touch with all of their favourite people? I think the good times for me and Twitter ended a few years ago, but I've never been particularly good at calling time on bad relationships. It all started out so well, with this tweet about another long stint sitting at my desk editing videos, posted on the 23rd of November 2007. Yes, I used to add 2 spaces after full stops because that's what I was taught to do at school in the mid-1990s. I don't do that anymore. In the 14 years, 11 months and 17 days since that first post, I've written 108,142-ish tweets, an average of 19.8 tweets per day. What the f***? That is a chilling statistic. Okay, moving on. I joined Twitter on the 23rd of November 2007 because I've always been fascinated in other people's lives. I didn't have any music to share till 2009, so I really was just there to have a chat and maybe make some friends. And I did make some friends, and it was a lovely experience, and that's still the way I try to approach social media today. Before releasing my debut album Disarm in 2010 under the name She Makes War, I gathered together 2,000 Twitter followers, had this write-up on the BBC News homepage, hi Neil Gaiman, and sold enough copies of Disarm on the first day of the Bandcamp pre-order to pay for all of the CD manufacturing. Thank you music supporters, and thank you Twitter. I do credit the platform with giving me my first true fans. You might be one of them. Hello, and thank you so much for sticking with me for all this time. We've grown a little bit older together, and I really appreciate you. I really appreciate the fact that Twitter is public and open to everyone, because you never know who you'll come across or who will come across you. I can always find something truly interesting in a quick scroll of my feed, and that's led to reading and watching and listening to things I'd never have come across otherwise. I enjoy contributing to a community, not just through sharing music and videos and stuff, but by answering people's questions about random things, and just generally being a good neighbour. In terms of sharing my music, it's been a relatively effective way of sharing what I'm up to in a non-salesy, non-shouty kind of way. And Twitter has always been a really friendly place for me. I think because I've been very careful about who I follow, I decided up front not to use it for political debate or for just complaining about things, and because I'm not at all well known. I've managed to fly under the radar on Twitter for all these years, and I'm very grateful for that. In many ways, I do think that life would be way better without Twitter. Reducing people's thoughts to a set amount of characters has had a big effect on how we perceive other people. And I also think that the act of sharing short-form thoughts tricks our brains into thinking, yep, that's it, done it, tick. Casually tapping out a tweet and pressing send feels like a little achievement, doesn't it? When the real work, whatever it is we're supposed to be doing, or whatever else it is that we claim we'd prefer to be doing with our precious time, is never quite so simple. After doing a lot of reading on the topic, I decided a few years ago that I'd be very interested to see where these little fragments of thoughts might take me if I didn't just share them on Twitter and think, done, tick, move on. I wanted to explore them in longer form ways. So in 2020, when I launched my Penfriend project, I started using an app called Freedom to block distracting websites for most of the day. I have a discount code and an affiliate link for Freedom in the description box below, so do check that out if you're interested. It's really been a game changer for me. I vowed to put more time into the important things in my creative business, writing down my stories and experiences to make deeper work from them, in my music, in my blog posts, and in my quarterly zines. I created a podcast series, and I started creating these regular, thoughtful videos. What would this video be if it was just a tweet? I'm all for focused communication. We don't need to wang on forever to make a point. But it's nigh on impossible to explain yourself properly in such a small space. I think Twitter has had a huge effect on the way that we naturally think of others now. It's so us and them, it's so binary. That person doesn't agree with me, so they're an idiot and a monster. And I do worry that that aspect is going to get even worse now. So why do I stay? 3 reasons. The vaguest hint of possibility. Really, that's how all social media platforms get you, isn't it? I've seen other people blow up on here, so one day that might happen to me. And what if I disappear from the platform and then my music sales drop and I realise it was helping all along, even though the stats consistently tell me otherwise? People are impressed by big numbers. There you go. Go on, Bins. Apart from having around 20,000 followers on MySpace back in the day, this is the largest number of people I've managed to gather together as followers on any social media platform. And although I know from looking at the analytics that people aren't sharing my posts or clicking on links in any meaningful number, I know that number, 14,836 followers, I know that impresses people. I know because they've told me. I know because they talk to me in a different way when they see that. Are they the sort of people I want anything to do with? Probably not. But still, we're all being conditioned to believe that bigger numbers equals better stuff. It's called social proof. I'm certainly not big on streaming, I'm not big on YouTube, and I'm not big on Instagram. But I do feel medium big on Twitter, and that has felt good over the years. I will admit that. It makes me feel like I know what I'm doing to some extent, whether or not that's actually true. Finally, why the fuck should I leave just because some guy with some funny ideas has come and taken over and sacked 3,700 staff by email? Oh yeah, okay, that's a pretty great reason to leave a platform. But maybe this is just a phase, right? And maybe we can just go right back to the early days when we loved each other very much and we were so good for each other and oh yeah, see, I'm doing it again. See how they get their claws into us. Some thoughts in conclusion. My job as an artist is to show up where the people are. My function in my community is to mirror society, to ask questions, to offer emotional support and release, and to create spaces through songs, performances, and anything else that I create and share. Spaces where we can all feel our feelings, draw strength from one another, and live to fight another day, forging on our own individual paths. From a creative business perspective, I'm pleased to say that I'm feeling pretty nonchalant about the potential end of Twitter, partly because there's absolutely nothing I can do about it, and I prefer to spend my energy on things that I have even a tiny semblance of control over, but mostly because since I started sharing music on the internet in 2009, I've prioritised building up my mailing list above all other things. So far, I've survived MySpace and Pledge Music, and because of my mailing list, I don't think that losing 14,836 Twitter followers will make any kind of a dent in my ability to continue making music and sharing it with people. Now, if people were clicking on my links on Twitter and sharing my posts in the hundreds or the thousands, I would be feeling very differently about this. But honestly, people are far more interested in my puppy than the fact that I've released a new song or video. That's just how it is. From a world perspective, however, I think that losing such a big public forum would be a colossal shame. Even if losing it actually means deciding not to use it anymore because it's become a horrible, hateful place to be. I don't want to be part of something that doesn't welcome everyone and protect their rights. We have to choose our battles in life, and arguing with people on the internet is something I try to avoid for the sake of my creative energy and mental health. So what can we do? If you're a fellow artist of any stripe, I implore you to use what's happening at the moment as a catalyst to set up your own mailing list. Even better, why not treat yourself to a custom URL and set up a simple one-page website to host that sign-up form on and go from there. It's not hard to do, and I promise you it's worth the effort. I wouldn't still be releasing albums, and I wouldn't be sitting here making this video if it wasn't for my mailing list. As the old saying goes, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Better still, make your own basket and put your own eggs in there. Make your own eggs. If you're a supporter of the arts, thank you. You're brilliant. We really need you. Thank you so much. I'm sure you know this already, but some of the things that you can do include subscribing to your favourite artists' mailing lists, joining their subscription club if they have one, subscribing to their YouTube channel and other social media profiles. You can buy music and merch from them on Bandcamp or via their own shops. You can even leave their music streaming overnight while you sleep. Just remember there are always free and paid ways of supporting your favourite artists, and every little thing helps so much to encourage people to keep going. In my case, my correspondence club funds all of my music and video making, in return for exclusive limited edition music and art bundles, secret videos and private online events. My mailing list offers free songs and stories when you sign up, and I currently share 2 videos on this channel every week. All of this makes a huge difference to my ability to keep making things for you to enjoy, and you can find all of my links in the description box below. Thanks so much for looking. I honestly don't know what's going to happen to Twitter, and maybe exploding in a bin fire would be the very best thing for it and for us. What I care about the most is staying in touch with you. So thank you for watching this video. Please consider clicking like and subscribing to my channel so this video can be shared with more people who might find it useful, and I hope to see you somewhere on the internet soon. Take care.